Hey everyone, before this video starts, I'd like to give a special thank you to all my Patreon and Twitch subscribers. If you'd like to learn how to support this channel, possibly for free, just hang out till the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Oh, this show is brilliant, bro. I remember this scene. Oh my god.
Don't overwater it.
That show's so good. Dude, Life After may have been like one of my absolute favorite shows I've ever seen in my entire life. It is a phenomenal show. It's only 3 seasons long, which is really unfortunate because it's such a good, addicting thing. It's such a good, addicting show. It was fantastic. I mean, I loved it. I think that the first 2 seasons were honestly brilliant. The 3rd season was slightly off, but it's only because they lost a couple of their core characters. They lost, I forget both of their names, but they lost the girl who kind of comes into the show as the like the new character, which we're supposed to view the show through her lens, and then we lost like the prostitute character. Those are 2 really good characters, and we kind of just lost them. Outside of that, it's fantastic. I mean, it's like this dark humor show about a guy who loses his wife to cancer and how he struggles to cope with it. And it starts after she's already had passed and it's been a little while. And he's just struggling to deal with the loss of his own wife, like the only person that he ever loved. And he was so dependent on her because they don't even want kids. It was just him and her. And like as you go through it, you learn more and more about the character that adds a lot of depth. Like he was an underachiever who really didn't want anything in life except to be in love, and then he found it, and then it was taken away from him. Everything is just like perfect. It was so good. I honestly, I legitimately cried watching this show, and that's not an exaggeration. I actually cried a little bit watching this show. If you're in love with somebody, this show is going to have a completely different experience than if you are not in love, or if you understand what love is. There like every single moment of this show felt like an internal reflection on my own relationship and life with my wife. It was so sad, and every single move that he made was completely like just the way that anybody would act. And he's not even a good character necessarily. He does some really horrible fucking things. And this is such like a deeply flawed character. And these things are so like there's something he did that was so horrible. And the show puts it out there. And it's so realistic because they don't even really reference it too much. It's just such like a real world reflection of how you would interact if something like this had happened to you, especially if you put everything into like the one person that you love. It's so terrible. The feelings that it invokes are horrible, but they're also just so relatable and they're so human, and it's just such a good show, and it has like a nice mix of comedy in it. And frankly, like you should watch the show if you haven't. It's on Netflix. It's 3 seasons. It's completely bingeable. The characters are incredible. I would say that even though season 3 gets a little rough because we lose some of the main characters, because I think it was due to COVID, that was real life kind of stuff. It wasn't due to COVID. They supplement that with some fantastically fun, like they push some of the side characters into the forefront, and it's just hilarious. It's just hilarious. It's so good. I loved the show. Genuinely recommend to watch. And I will say that before, like one of the things, I think that there was this incredible moment in the show for me, and it doesn't really give a lot away because this was the first time when I was watching this show that I was really taken back, and I was like, wow, it was incredible. And it's like in the first episode, I think, so it's fun. But there was this moment where, Ricky Gervais's character, he writes for like a local newspaper that's not really doing particularly well, and he writes BS. He writes like bullshit articles. Like some of the article choices are like, oh, there's a kid who can play the flute with his nose. Like these are the types of stories that they talk about. And this particular story here was about this old man who had gotten the same birthday card for 5 years. It was such a dumb thing. And the way that the story frames it, you go into this scenario going like, oh my God, like what a stupid thing. You got this old man who got the same fucking birthday card 5 years in a row. And, you're completely identifying with the character and his experience. And then the old man starts explaining like how it happened or how he felt when it happened. He's like, yeah, I got it 1 year, and I was like, oh, this is a nice card. And then I got the same card the next year, and it was funny. And then it happened, third, fourth, fifth year, and these are all very funny things. And you're sitting there experiencing what Ricky Gervais's character's experience. Like, this is so stupid. And then the old man says something that was like really profound, and he's like, I lost my wife, and these are the types of small little moments that just really helped me get through the day. That was the energy. I'm paraphrasing, but that was what he had said to an effect, and I was like, wow, like it's incredible how the smallest things in your life can have such a big impact. Just that little giggle from that moment of like, oh, I got the same card a few years in a row. It really is the small things that keep you from from really just going off the deep end. When you're in the worst of situations, it's those small things. And it was probably the first like sad moment of the show that really made me go, wow, like that was so incredible. It was so incredible. So man, go watch the show. Go watch this show because it will fuck you up. It will fuck you up. It'll make you feel way too much. I personally started watching it when my wife went on. She left the state to go to like a family funeral. I had to stay back and work and whatnot. And being alone and watching this, and like just missing my wife while watching this was such. It was like it was similar to watching a horror movie in the dark on a rainy, thunderous day. Or you know what I mean? It was just fucking horrible, but incredible at the same time. So watch it, bro. Watch it. What's up, wife? Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.